yet another exciting edition of the program Morning Ride. And it's a beautiful Monday morning, being the third day in the month of February 2025. It's the miracle February. And you ask me, why did I say that? Once we are into a proper breakdown of our programs, I will explain why. And so, on behalf of the board, management, and staff, we welcome you to yet another exciting edition of Morning Ride. My name is Onometano, and Lilibet Ugochukwu Kelvin, the beautiful, delectable, is joining me as usual.
Good morning,
Yes,
Onometano.
Yes.
I'll come back to you.
Okay, please.
Good morning, Delta.
I'm waiting.
Good morning, Nigerians. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another brand new Monday, a fresh week, the third day in the month of February 2025, God's own month. And we welcome you to a world of information, education, and entertainment. This is where we give you the juiciest gists, nothing is going to be left unturned this beautiful day. And so, on that note, I'd like to say, Onometano came in with one kind of vibe this morning. I really don't understand. Tano, please, did you win a lottery? Or did somebody gift you some foreign currency? Because that could only explain the excitement this morning. It was way hyper.
Yes.
Let me speak Yoruba. Kilode.
No, not it. Killer. The Yorubas will also reply with Killer Lode. Because
Oh my goodness.
yes. Greater is he that is in me, than he that is in the world.
Yes.
Because when you have God's presence inside of you, feel, you got joy overflow. So it was just a spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, feeling God's presence. You understand? Because you see, when you think of the goodness of God upon your life, right, you don't have a choice but, be happy.
Yes, express it.
You understand? So that anywhere you find yourself, let the people around you know that the presence of God dwells inside of you.
That's right.
Do you understand that? You must not be a pastor, for the presence of God to be inside of you. You must not be an evangelist, but you can be a carrier of grace. So when you look at God's grace, because you see, you get to a point where you feel, oh, it's over. And God says, no, your thoughts are not his thoughts.
Yes, your ways are not his
Your ways are not his ways.
That's right.
Do you understand? And before you know what's going on, he turns around the situation. And you begin to wonder, ordinary, I wouldn't have been able to go through this. It can only be God.
God, yeah. You're right. Well, I share in that belief with you. It can only be God. When you go through or you look past and see things that have happened or transpired in the past amongst people, you begin to thank God because it can truly only be God. Now look at the explosions so far. Look at the building collapse so far. Go to the hospitals, people hanging their legs, head, hand, and people that were burnt. I saw a video where a man was seated with his legs wide open. What happened? The wife poured hot water on him. I don't know. The kind of things people do these days. You begin to ask yourself questions. What exactly is going on? Are we really, is it really the end time like the Bible said? Because strange things are beginning to happen. Things that normally you don't even expect a normal human being to do. Those are the things they do. Like they have sold their conscience already to the devil. So when you begin to see all these things, you have every reason to thank God that you were not there. It did not happen to you nor your family member or whoever. So if your family is complete, your friends are complete, you have every reason, every course to say thank you, Lord, because it can only be God.
That's correct.
And he will continue to pilot us to safety.
Yes, because if you look at the way life is now, we're surviving on a keg of gunpowder. There could be an explosion
At any time.
at any time. And you see, the 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 Pentecostal days are, or rather, the old days. There's a disparity between the old days, and now. Imagine what you just said: a woman pouring hot water on her husband, or a man pouring petrol on his wife.
Lighting her up.
You can imagine such callous act or
Wife.
intention.
The same wife you went to the altar to say, I do. I love you with all my heart, with all my life. I will protect you till death do us part.
The times are really perilous for me. Because one, it is man's inhumanity.
To man.
Why should you think evil of your wife?
Your wife.
Why
or
should
your
you
husband.
think evil of your husband? Why should you think evil of your brother, your sister?
See, when they wear that band, they don't really know what that band means. That wedding ring, they don't know what it means. There's a significance to that ring.
Yeah, so look at what is happening now. A lot of homes are broken. Really broken. Do you understand? Really
People
broken.
cannot stand their husbands.
Any
People
longer.
cannot stand their wives.
Any longer.
But I would prefer, if you know you can't stand your wife, or your mind will push you to the extent of afflicting injury on your partner, it's better you walk out of the marriage, get a divorce, walk out.
But can they be patient enough to get that? They act on the spur of the moment. Just the way their brain functions. They allow their emotions to rule their sense of reasoning.
Their sense of reasoning. Yeah.
You understand? Forgetting that this life is just once.
No, when you go, you're gone.
You go, you
There's
go.
no second chance.
So even if you perpetrate the exit of somebody, it can only be painful. You too, one day,
go.
you are gone. So you won't have any gains. You understand? Perpetrating evil, perpetrating, heinous crimes. Look at that young man that killed his girlfriend. For what? Simply because you saw her chatting up somewhere.
She was cheating. Someone you've not paid her dowry. You've not married the girl, and you're jealous that she's cheating.
Yes. Do you understand? So they don't allow. They just act on the spot.
And he doesn't feel any remorse. He said he's not regretting his actions at all.
And he even went to court to even say he's not even guilty.
He said he's not guilty.
Yes. he's been taken to court already. And when he was taken to court, he was clean shaved.
That he's not guilty.
And they said he's not guilty.
So how come you murdered someone and you're not guilty?
No.
Are you sure that guy is
Yeah, no. You see, the devil has just entered inside of him. And when the devil gets into somebody, the person doesn't even know what to say.
That's true.
You understand? Because we've heard of it in the Bible days and all of that. That when evil gets into somebody, he doesn't even know.
He doesn't know.
He begins to perpetrate it, and you begin to ask, is this person normal? Is he acting under? He or she acting under impulse? And all of that.
Oh, God save us.
Really, God save us. God save us.
Okay. So let's move quickly to our national celebration.
But before you go to your national celebration, something just tickled me over the weekend, and it had to do with the month of February. And they say it's a miracle February.
Okay.
And I'll just run through.
Okay.
They said this February 2025 is the last February. Everyone living now will see. That's especially someone like me.
Okay.
Everybody living now.
Yeah.
You see, this is the last February that we'll see. See, because this year, the February has, 4 Sundays, 4 Mondays, 4 Tuesdays, 4 Wednesdays, 4 Thursdays, 4 Fridays, 4 Saturdays. Everything 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And it happens in 823 years.
823 years.
Yes.
Wow.
February is a leap month. It's a It's a day that does not have 30.
30 years.
You see, so because it doesn't have 30, it doesn't have 4 to the ratio or to the balance of an equation, you know. But for this year, 2025, that tells you it's a miraculous year. You have 4 Mondays, 4 Tuesdays, 4 Wednesdays, 4 Thursdays, 4 Fridays, 4 Saturdays, and 4 Sundays.
Yeah. Indeed, it's a miraculous month. And the person said, those living, okay, if you're opportunity to see the February, you're not going to die.
Even if you see it, once you've seen it now, you will never live to see it in another 823 years.
Okay. We will not see it in another
Yes.
820.
So before you see 4 like
Again,
this, by the calendarium, is in another
823 years.
Yes.
By then, everybody would have.
No, that's why I said that those of us living now
will not see it again.
will not see it
now I
again.
understand. Oh, that's true.
You know, because even in the next 30 years, it will not be there. In the next 50 years, it will not be there. It's either going to be 433.
Yes.
You know, because February usually ends on the 28th.
Yeah, it's true.
28 days.
Now I get you.
You understand?
That's
28 days. Yeah. You know, so to me that's quite big by hypothesis.
Okay.
You know, so it's a a thinking, thought for reflection.
Yes.
You know, and so okay, that's true.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm lucky, you know, to meet it in my period, in my age. You know, so it's going to be a miraculous month.
Yes.
So wherever you're watching, expect a miracle.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So when I came in,
I received my miracle.
you know, telling Worry that it's definitely going to be a breakthrough
Yes.
for him.
Okay, that was the prayer you were.
Yes. So those were my thinking, those were my perception. You know, so we came in smoking, we came in hot, and you know, feeling God's presence.
Okay. And that's Pastor Tado speaking, declaring upon your life this morning. If I were you, I would grab it with both hands because it doesn't come like this all the time. Okay, so quickly to our national celebration, we have Take a Cruise Day. Take a cruise day, take a voyage into the vastness of the ocean for a life-changing experience. That's going for a vacation. Yes, and we have the Nelson Anniversary Day. Nelson Anniversary Day. And so there's this one that caught my attention, National Wedding Ring Day. We just talked about marriages that are collapsing, where after the partners say I do, the next thing it's off. No, I do again. So now it is. In fact, Tado has adjusted. He wants to listen to this one very.
Yeah, because it's very vital.
Do with your circle. Okay, so we have the National Wedding Ring Day, and I'll read that. Did you know wedding rings weren't always needed to mark the commitment between couples? Did you know about that? It wasn't just to mark the commitment between couples. Now, National Wedding Ring Day, celebrated February 3rd every year, is a romantic occasion for couples who are in love. It marks the day when couples exchange wedding rings in matrimony. Hence, couples who want to reignite their sparks can use this occasion to do something memorable and sweet for each other. No, it doesn't matter if you have been together for a few months or a few decades. You must utilize every opportunity you get to make your partner feel special. So, get ready to exchange your rings again and recite some wedding vows. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I don't know why.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm excited.
Yes,
I'm not even in the clinic and I'm excited for them.
Yes, I tell you.
Please go and recite your wedding vows.
Yes.
Bring that. I know some persons don't wear their rings. They don't wear their rings at all. I have a friend, she doesn't put on her ring. So if you know where you tossed your ring, go and bring it out and recite that vow again. Promise yourselves, think about the first day you met your partner. What actually triggered you? What moved you, to say, oh, would you marry me? And the person said, yes, I'll marry you.
do.
What was that spark that you found or you saw?
Yeah.
Go back to it.
Yeah.
Of course, if you know it's not going to work, don't force it. Don't force it. Just stay safe. That's all that matters.
Yes, I tell you something. Speaking to that conversation, you see, this is mine. Yeah, you know, and it's actually symbolic.
Yeah. Oh, Tana has it. It's
You know,
showing us.
it's actually symbolic.
Yeah.
But the question you will now ask yourself at the end of the day: are you really having peace
In that marriage.
in that marriage?
Yeah.
Are you having satisfaction in that marriage?
Yeah.
You know, some people just put it on as a symbol, to show that I'm married.
Yeah.
It's a symbol thing. But inside of you, are you really working in tandem
Yes.
with the tenets of, togetherness? Do you understand? That is the truth. Do you understand? Some people put it on and yet they still go out of their wedding vows. Because it is a symbolic, say, yes, I'm married. But even at that, you're still married as a man and you're still engaged, or you still go into extramarital affairs. As a woman, you're putting it on, and yet you're also still in extramarital, because they are there just the way you have the men.
History of National Wedding Ring Day. Today, wedding rings are considered a must in almost all cultures across the globe. When a couple is about to tie the knot, rings are exchanged by both parties to signify their commitments to each other. Those rings are then worn at all times and often indicate who is single and who is committed. But wedding slash engagement rings weren't always a thing. There was a time when all that was needed to confirm a marriage was a verbal exchange of vows. It is widely believed, however, that in ancient Egypt, lovers would wear rings made out of woven reed and leather to declare the love they felt for each other. And later on, the Greeks and Romans started sporting signet rings to show they are engaged to be married. Okay, that's those that are engaged. The engagement is the middle finger. So when you see a lady wearing a ring on the middle finger, the lady's engaged. But these days, they no longer put it in the middle finger. They put it on the wedding finger as well to tell you that they are engaged.
They just put one. They just
put one, yes. The marriage is two.
2.
So that's the symbol that they're
Yeah.
taking.
Yeah, but like I did say, in this present age, does it really matter?
Doesn't matter to them.
It doesn't matter because
Yes.
so everyone might just put it there and just probably for a symbol, as a symbol thing. And that I'm in the class of, the married class, but inside of them,
That's true.
they still go out of their way, in extramarital relationship, because of the hardship, the hard times that we are now, which are perilous. Some people still engage, women, men, but for men they wouldn't say it's hard times. Rabbi would say,
Fun.
yeah, to them it's fun.
To them it's fun.
You understand? But for the women, it's hard times.
Some of the women, fun.
Not fun, really.
Some of the women, it's just for fun. Because they pay these young boys.
Okay, no. For those who go to the gigolos, yes, for fun. But to a very large extent, some of them, due to hardship, you understand, their husbands might not be able to meet up to their standard, and because they also want to belong, I belong to the class of, say, okay, we are among the top class women, they want to do human hair. And you know what that cost?
All right,
Okay, so go ahead tomorrow.
just let me be this morning. All right, so other celebration, we have the National Patient Recognition Day. It says on National Patient Recognition Day, many healthcare organizations host events aimed at improving patient care. Now, those are the patients in the hospital. Okay, so we have the National Missing Person Day. Participate in the efforts to help find missing persons. Okay, participate in the efforts to help find missing persons. National Missing Person Day is observed on February 3rd every year. This day is important because it draws attention to the thousands of missing persons throughout the country. The day is also a valuable opportunity to bring awareness to the public about the people who are missing and increases the chances of them being found. A National Missing Person Day is observed not only for the missing people, but also for their families and friends who have to deal with the trauma of having their loved one go missing without a trace. This day respects and honors their grief. Yeah, so please help find missing persons. I know where I go do my shopping. A girl that's not up to 18, I think so, she has been missing for 5 days, and because of that, the parents have not opened their shop for 5 days. They're still trying to look for this girl.
Most of the times when it comes to that gender, considering the age, which is a stormy period, for growth, most of the cases are not usually missing. They most likely would have eloped. Do you understand? They would have eloped with their boyfriends. Because most of those cases where it's okay, girl at 18 missing, probably the parents must have treated her in a way, that she's not too comfortable, and there's one guy somewhere who is beating the drums of her, and she elopes.
And that's in some cases. What about some that you board a tricycle and from there they take you to an unknown destination? That's also missing.
Yes, those cases are almost infinitesimal. But, because why I'm saying this. I've heard of cases, not one, not two, not three, right? At that age, and they eventually trace them to their boyfriend's apartment. Do you understand? But when you say somebody at 50 something is missing, then that is some serious concern. Because it's possible that that person must have strayed away or must have been involved in an
accident.
accident. I know
Yes.
somebody, I know a case of a guy who, for the past, you know, two guys, two of them, I know serious cases, who suddenly they woke up and they just walked away.
Two of them.
You know, I know that's two cases.
Okay, two cases. They
Very
woke up
true.
and left
Yes,
the house.
as I speak with you now, the family doesn't even know where they are. So what would you say? Would you say they are dead?
They are missing until confirmed dead.
You understand? But don't be surprised that some of them, probably as men, would have also eloped to go and stay with one woman.
Tano and woman. Tano, please,
Oh,
not
no,
this
no.
morning. Not this morning. See, we have other celebrations. Tano, I'm going to
Okay,
pick
go
you up
ahead.
now.
Go ahead.
American Painters Day. It's not just American. So painting is a celebrated art from since only okay. So let's appreciate our painters. Okay. National Women Physicians Day. National Women Physicians Day. That's the female doctors, female physicians. We need to celebrate them because what a man can do,
A woman can do better.
I didn't say better,
No.
but a woman can do.
They can do better.
I did not add better.
No, I'm a man, I will say better.
Okay.
Yes, better. To say.
Please, it came from your gender, not my gender.
No.
All right.
Better.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Better. All right, so that's all on national celebration this morning. And quickly, let's look at trending issues. We have lots of trending issues going on. Okay, so on trending issues, I'll take this one on FRSC. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Anambra State Command, has said it will begin sanctioning transporters and fleet operators for non-compliance with passengers' manifest and installation of speed limit device from next month, which is March 1. So Mrs. Alexander decried the low level of compliance with installation of speed limit device by commercial transporters, especially fleet operators, and associated sharp practices such as tampering with the device. Now, this will actually help to curb road accidents. You know, it will help to curb road accidents and also to help locate passengers. Talking about manifest, to help locate passengers' loved ones. She also talked about passengers imputing their blood group in the manifest. I know some passengers will be very, very stubborn as to adhere to that, but it is for their own good. Talking about accidents, just 1st February, I think in Lagos thereabouts, or Lagos Expressway, there was an accident involving two vehicles, a company, I wouldn't want to mention the name, a company and another vehicle. Almost everybody in that bus died, even a little baby. And the person filming it, the little baby was just lying on the floor. Nobody carried the baby. Whether the baby was dead or alive, I couldn't tell, because the baby was just lying on a very little baby. Let's say 3 or 4 months on the floor. And I was really, really pained. Why not at least carry that baby and see if the baby is still alive? At least save that little child. And so the person filming was saying, if you know this baby, or if you know any of your loved ones that travel through this route, please, come out or do something. So if that vehicle has a manifest, it will be very, very easy to locate their loved ones.
That's
to
correct.
come to the
Absolutely correct.
So when you go to the park and they tell you, write your next of kin phone number, don't hesitate, put it down. We are not praying for accident, but anything can happen.
Yes, you see.
Even the blood group, why it is there is because if you're being involved in an accident and rushed to the hospital with that manifest, they'll be able to ascertain, okay, this is the blood group of this person, and then give blood immediately instead of waiting to go through tests or something when you have lost lots of blood on the road.
But you know that it's not even everybody that knows that blood group.
Yes, it's not everybody.
You know that.
Which is not. How can an adult not know his or her blood group?
And that is where the level of the issue of advocacy comes in.
Sensitization, sir.
Yeah,
They need to be
sensitization,
sensitized.
advocacy, and all of that. Because you see, because let the truth be told, do you also know that it's not everybody that goes to the park? You understand? So there are some people who are hikers. They go along the road to hike. And when you hike, you don't put in your manifest. You don't put in your name on your manifest. It is only those who move from the terminals. You understand? The terminals that is imperative. But what of those who go to the road? They might say, okay, the road is cheaper for me rather than go to the bus park, to board the vehicle and go along the road.
Even if they go along the
But
road,
you can't
that
put it
vehicle
in
should
your
have a manifest. Because now the FRSC have put their men on the road, checking all these things, even speed limit. I think that speed limit is even is
I
needed.
think for speed limit,
it is needed,
for speed
especially
limit,
this heavy trucks.
for speed limit, yes. But for the manifest, we might not be able to get it right. Because like I did say, if for example now you are going to Agbo, I take for me, for example, I won't go to the park to go and take Agbo.
You stand on the road.
I'll just go to Summit here and go along the road.
You know,
So with
but
the
when you
driver,
enter
with the
into
driver
vehicle-
now park and say, okay,
No, when you enter the vehicle,
he will not give you
they
no.
give you the manifest. While you're in the vehicle, you're right.
Okay, I think probably that
It can be done. It's very easy.
You are very correct. You are very correct because it will take you anything
It won't take anything.
to write as the driver moves on. Do you understand? But you should also, it's a good point
Yes.
by way of advocacy and carrying out sensitization. But how many people can really take
Do
that pain?
Yes.
Because you might just see an aboki on the road now who doesn't even know how to write his name. Do you understand? And the aboki is going to walk somewhere. You say aboki take me Sudanka. Write what's the name and all of that.
Yeah, so it's very important. Please always put your name down in the manifest provided. And also the speed limit. I went to Warri over the weekend and I was returning from Warri. If you see the way this tanker was driving on the road, like he owns the road. We were screaming we were just screaming, telling the driver that he should be patient. You don't compete with these heavy lorries
Trucks.
on the road or heavy trucks. You don't compete with them. And this was a truck carrying. Okay, I think it wasn't carrying, but this fuel trucks. Yeah, so it was driving so rough on the road. And when we got to a police checkpoint, we told the police, it was a Mopo checkpoint. We told the Mopo that he should caution because we when they stopped him, we had the chance to overtake the guy. So we told the policeman to caution the driver that he was driving rough. That was the problem. We in fact we bought market that day.
Okay.
Because when the police left us, the tanker driver went ahead of us and then blocked the road. Like we were not going to move. Like he drove and then blocked the road. No oncoming vehicle could pass. And we paused. And the man was insulting, cursing our driver. Driver, just keep quiet because we don't know these people what they have taken. Like, how can you just block the road? No fear. In front of a police checkpoint. And the police people were just there. I said, can't these people just run and get this driver? Teach him a very bitter lesson. The Mopo man just stood there, brought out his phone, and was trying to what are you capturing instead of taking care of the event? How can somebody come to your domain, your territory, and overpower you? I don't know, it's like these tanker drivers, they are even more than the authorities. Because the way they act, they don't fear anybody. So I think they really need that speed limit. And if they don't have the speed limit, that vehicle should be impounded. That's if the FRSC is going to stand on this ground.
They alone might not be able to do all of that. Other
But they should do
agencies,
theirs first.
other agencies should also, complement the efforts of road safety to ensure that these speed limit breaks are enshrined in their vehicles.
Okay. All right. So we have another trending issue. This NLC protests.
Yeah. For
Yes,
tomorrow,
NLC protests increase in telecommunication tariffs, but we are still, it's still under probability if it's going to happen or it's not going to happen. It's supposed to commence tomorrow because of the telecom tariff hike. People, I won't even say people. Civil servants are earning 70,000, and you want to increase your tariff. Where are they going to get the money to pay? Meanwhile, foodstuff is already high. Transportation is already high. Every other thing is high. And you want to increase your electricity is high. And you want to increase communication tariff.
Increase in fuel.
I don't understand why they increase everywhere.
You see the issue of
maybe they're trying to meet up.
No, you see, it's a private business concern. It's not for government. You understand? MTN is a private concern. Glo is a private concern. Airtel is a private concern. It's not you that will come and determine their price. It's just like saying, the Gary seller, why should you increase your Gary?
But not at this time. I know maybe they are trying to increase because every other thing has increased. They are in this Nigeria. They also pay the high electricity tariff. They also pay the high transport. They buy food at the same high rates.
Yeah, so it's
also affecting them. They are trying to,
To me, sincerely, it's wrong timing for NLC. You understand? It is not within their concern. You understand?
To go on a protest.
It's government that should tell the
NLC.
No, the
telecommunication, yes.
Because they are the ones that give them the enabling environment to say no. It's just like somebody. Let me give you an instance. Like the Nigeria NUJ Press Center is being managed by a different guy, right? He sells his bottle of beer. Like I'm giving an example. He sells his bottle of beer for 2,000 naira, whereas the other person sells for 1,005. Right? And you grumble that why should this guy sell for 2,000 naira? He pays to NUJ for leasing the property to him. So it behoves on the NUJ to say, okay, Oga, why don't you sell at pump price? Why we also give you a window, a convenient space, so that you can also meet at an equilibrium. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
By taxes, by taxation. The government should say, okay, we will reduce your tax. So that you can build in all of this. But when you say no, your taxes are increased, your VATs are increased, naturally, it goes, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
So to me, it's ill timing for NLC.
Okay.
Even when we're expecting somebody, even though we're going to be major players, we're going to participate majorly in strike, but the truth be told, it's not going to be a win-win for NLC.
Well, let's see. Tomorrow will tell if it's going to commence or it's going to be stopped. Deportation of Nigerians from United States. This is another trending issue. At least 3,690 Nigerians are set for deportation from the United States as part of a broader immigration crackdown, according to data from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. The report obtained through our Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, request reveals that over 1.4 million migrants face removal orders, with Mexico and El Salvador leading the lists. Now, the deportation push follows President Donald Trump's strict new immigration policies, including executive orders ending birthright citizenship for undocumented migrants. Wow. Yes. Since his return to office, ICE has ramped up arrests, with daily detention rates rising from 310 to 433, and large-scale raids resulting in thousands of apprehensions. So people cannot just wake up one morning and go abroad, go to US and say, I want to have my child there so that my child can be a US citizen. Otilo, it's finished.
No,
Without a documentation.
because you see Donald Trump. Hmm? I won't call him the evil genius. I won't rather want to say that. But he said, "Stay where you are."
Make your country better. The country you're running to, people made it better. Why can't you do
Stay
yours?
where you are.
Well, it's not on our hands. It's in the hands of the government, the president,
Yes,
to make the country
yeah.
better.
But you see, because the land is green there, why is brown here? They want to go for greener pastures.
They don't want to stay in browner pastures.
No, because nothing happens here. The system has collapsed. The social service welfare has collapsed. Do you understand? I can't remember in the last 40 years of uninterrupted power supply. Back to back. You know, I was sharing with somebody that from 2023 till date, right? I spend nothing less than 4,000 to 5,000 naira every day
On field?
on fuel. Every day. Because you will never have 24 hours. There are days you will stay 2 days, 3 days, DEPA will not be there. Even if eventually they restore power, how long do you want to enjoy it? You will not enjoy it for more than 2 or 3 hours. And it's off. Then there are days that you won't even have it at all. They'll tell you the transformer is faulty, and they will need to service it. You see the community start gathering again to gather money. You know, so the system has failed. Look at our transportation. Has also failed. Rather pay for everything and enjoy a good social system than a system that has failed. So for Trump saying Trump is coming smoking hot, that the rule of law has to be employed. And you understand? We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice.
So at least 3,690 Nigerians
More
already set for deportation.
More still
will
coming.
come, but this
Because-
first batch
Because
now.
those Nigerians there, it's not as if they are enjoying. No. Most of them are
I'm
there
sure these are the ones that don't have a job, that just
roaming around
roaming
the
around the
street.
street. Yes, it's
You
better they come
understand?
back
Meeting
to
them-
their
meeting
mothers
them
go
at
to your
John-
villages. Farming.
But can you be in America and hide inside the house? You can't hide inside. You must
can't now.
you
You
must
have
go
to
out
come
to go out
To hustle.
to hustle. And if you're hustling that your valid correct paper and document, because they always put their passport to them. Because you see that America is not like Nigeria where you
And
just walk
freely.
anywhere.
No passport,
Nothing.
no mode of identification.
Oh,
Not
no,
even
no,
an
no.
ID card.
Before you move from point A to B, they stop you. Say, I don't have a passport.
Identify yourself.
Can you
please.
identify yourself?
No, you
You
identify.
simply use my passport. Oh, thank you. Bye.
Maybe why people will not run there. Stand up, please.
Even in Cameroon here, as small as Cameroon is, you can't just enter Cameroon again. They will check you. We don't have police checks here. If in a place like Cameroon, from DBS Junction to Summit Junction, you have nothing less than 10 police checks. Because if you escape this, you will escape the other
You want to
person.
escape, yeah. And you can't easily bribe them.
You can only have freedom when they have closed. So from 6 p.m., they are no longer on the road. That's when you now come back.
tanker wey carry fuel fall or pipe wey carry fuel for underground burst, wetin you go do? You go begin bail fuel put for your bucket, or you go run comot far far for where the fire go soon come. Na only small time you get to take this wise decision. Waka comot, no, that one no dey enough. Shift, no, that one no dey enough. Stay there dey gist and take pictures with your phone. That na madness. Run, yes, run comot. Yes, your life depend on wetin you do. The fire go come at once and you no go fit control am. Why? Petrol dey catch fire easily. Why? Na just small spark go start big fire. So no stay there dey think. Run comot quick to save your life. No throway your life away because of say you wan pack petrol. Take this advice. This informate na from Public Enlightenment Office, Delta Broadcasting Service, Asaba.
All right, I always said it that as a scout, you need to be prepared at all point. I just shared it with you
Yes.
that a man who has 9 lives can always adopt. It's
Can
all
always
part.
escape whatever.
It's all part of the physics of the job. It can be punched on any time. So we'll take on the papers this morning what most of our dailies are actually saying this morning.
We'll begin with the Daily Times. On the Daily Times, we have PDP will come out stronger from current crisis. And this is according to Zamfara Governor. Maritime University Act will deepen peace in Niger Delta, says IYC boss. Details on page 4. There is no immunity to crime, DG wants core members. Details on page 5. Tinubu's snatch grab agenda will destroy Nigerians' democracy. And this is according to Atiku. Borno flood. Unimate calls for more support. NGF congratulates Diri for emerging South-South chairman. And that's on page 2. Alright, you can grab a copy of the Daily Times. Not much story is on that paper, but you can grab to peruse further.
Okay. From the Daily Times is the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust is our next paper for review. And the streaming headline there: Federal government plans fresh electricity tariff hike. That's another tariff. Another hike again. I'm sure after the telecoms hike, it will be time for
electricity.
So NSC have quite a lot of their hands.
Yes. There should be salary hike now.
Nigeria will hail thee. Okay, above that, oil marketers now loading petrol from Port Harcourt Warri refineries. That is good news for me. All right, NSC nationwide strike against telcos tariff hike is an error. Stakeholders are actually saying that. Okay, I think we're almost on the same page there. 30 dead, 2 injured in Ondo auto crash. That's it from,
30 dead.
yes, 30 dead, 2 injured
Ondo.
in Ondo auto crash. That is it. That's more like,
That's a whole lot of
yes,
persons.
quite a lot, quite a lot. Okay, below the photo speak there, we see Muslims in Southwest have right to set up Sharia panels. Okay, JNI are saying all of that. As it on the Daily Trust.
The Nation is our next paper for review. The screaming story on The Nation says presidency to Atiku, El-Rufai, Obi, others will meet in 2027. And the rider says no alternative to APC, saying why banks cannot comply with order lifting restrictions on GHL's accounts. Also on GHL, we have FBN's alleged appeal of order lifting Mareva abuse of court process. Owando's turnover rises to 4.1 trillion naira. That's on page 16, and on page 25, 30 die in Ondo road accident. Alright, you can grab a copy of the Nation newspaper to peruse further.
All right, our next paper for review. This Day newspaper has above the master trade war. Canada, Mexico, China set to retaliate Trump's sweeping tariffs. And below that, First Bank admits defeat in Mareva case, 6 appeal without due process. JHI 6 desperation. Court stops customs from collecting excise duty on non-alcoholic carbonated beverage. Okay, I think that's good news for me. As the writer says, there's a declaration ministry, declares Ministry of Finance secular, null and void. Stops custom from collecting transport feeding allowances from NECA. All right, I think those are the major stories for Tuesday newspaper.
Right, our next is the Guardian newspaper. Anxiety over oil output. Exploration as 55 license. That's it on the Guardian newspaper.
All right, from the Guardian, it's the Vanguard newspaper. The Vanguard newspaper has above the masthead FBN. Why banks cannot comply with order lifting restrictions on GHL's account. And below that, we have the story of Ayuba Bello. Okay, I think that's a commercial story there now. But you could pick it up how OPay scholarship sustained the family's livelihood. Subsidy removal. Oil markets expand borrowings by 76.5% to 3.0 trillion naira. And on the flush left, again, First Bank abuses court processes. Nasiwa Neka alarmed presidential aid, or rather slap presidential aid for threatening fresh electricity tariff. And on the bottom strip there, we have this telecom tariff hike. Federal government meets NLC leaders over tomorrow's protest. 28 passengers burnt to death in Ondo auto crash. Nigeria, Africa under pressure as Trump slams tariff on Canada, Mexico, and China.
Alright, that's it on the Vanguard. The Daily Independent is next. On 2025 budget, estimated 13 trillion naira funding gap may compound real sector growth, and this is according to experts. The writer says, say consumers' income erosion may push additional 13 million into poverty. CBN reforms improving diaspora remittance. Tax reforms may stimulate growth. And that's the writer to that story on the 2025 budget. We have Nigerian strengthens Ebola preparedness as Uganda confirms outbreak. Another outbreak of Ebola. Details on page 29. And on page 7, we have the tariff hike. Telcos subscribers may migrate to Starlink. Writer says as provider launches direct-to-phone service. 30 burned to death in Ojo Road crash.
Okay, I have the blueprint. Newspaper, and quite a lot of stories there. And we have this one, 3,000 Kaduna pilgrims got 2023 Hajj reforms. Okay, I think that's it. Equity market gains 1.95 trillion in January. And you know that presidency to Nigerians in 2027, ignore opposition spreading ill will against Tinubu. That statement is credited and has a rider. Okay, Nigeria on the red alert as Uganda confirms Ebola outbreak. NCDC heightened surveillance, says Lassa fever cases have been dropped. All right, that's it on the blueprint this morning and all the papers that we have. I think there's the last one.
All right, the Punch newspaper says why bank cannot lift order defreezing GHL's account. And we have Dangote price slash. Market proponents may announce new platform late February. Leaders yet to agree on presidential standard bearer. LND playing lead roles, and this according to source. And finally, on that rider, Tinubu not worried by gathering of opposition. And this is according to presidency. And that's it on the Nigerian Tribune and the last paper for review this beautiful Monday morning.
Yes, Lily, one thing going for me is the good news about the fuel. You know, now they said Warri refineries and Port Harcourt, you know, they've already come on stream. That's good news for me, you know, and it's not a good one for those who have already imported fuel into the country, you know, because with the coming up to stream of these two refineries, most likely we might have a slash, you know, but the truth be told, even for 500 naira, it's still on the high side.
But it's better,
No. The better, the earlier they bring it down to 400. If there's a slash in that, you'll be surprised that the bag of rice will actually go down.
Yeah.
Because there'll be what you call.
But rice is actually going down now.
That's what they said.
No,
Tomatoes is going down, but
rice is going down. Tomato
there are bookie that carry it out in their wheelbarrow.
Tomato is everywhere. Tomato is everywhere, and now you can get tomato of 500. Before there was no tomato of 500 naira, but now there is tomato of 500. At least I bought on 3 occasions, one from the aboki or that carry it on the road, and the other at the market. They sell for 500 naira.
The abokis have slashed the price.
It's not the aboki that slashed the price. Even when I got tomato inside from the market, it was still okay. Even on my street, yes. How am I going far? On my street, I bought tomato 500 naira, and they were so big, you know, like 6 or 7.
Ugu is not cheap.
Ugu is the one that I don't know what is going on. I had a farm where I plant ugu.
Will you share with us?
I'll share with you. I also have a farm where I planted corn, and I enjoyed the corn when it when it yielded fruit. I enjoyed my corn. I used it to make so many things.
Yeah, I think
And
that's.
right now, I have my cassava.
Mm.
My cassava is growing. I'm a farmer.
No, you are. I think that's the in thing. That's the in thing. That's when Nigeria.
I get it at 90,000.
Well,
It has actually come down. If I didn't go see for myself, I
you
wouldn't
don't
be
know.
saying this. But I am saying it with all confidence because I was there. I saw it. I priced it. Yes.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right. We'll still take yet another break, and then when we come back, morning ride continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're watching Morning Ride right here in Delta Television. We are the people's pride, and that's for a reason. It's because we focus on anything, everything that shall ensure that you have yourself sound and robust. That's how I like to call it most times. This time we'll talk about your health on Morning Ride. Our conversation is centered on just one word: stroke. It's something that has bedeviled the country, the world, humanity for several years. And yet, we keep on fighting. Many times we lose the battle. But this morning ride,
Organs are, blood vessels are narrowed, or where the blood vessels have hemorrhage, or where there is actually a fatty semi-blockage in the blood vessels, and then we can refer it to as stroke, where the person might have one default or the other in the body.
okay.
Same. Anyway, that is a layman definition so that our viewers can actually
We
get
want the layman definition. Right, there you are. Okay, did you mention how it occurs in the body? How does it occur in the body? I want to be specific.
Okay. How it occurs? First, like I said, it can either be hemorrhage, like you have there's a spill, there's an open blood vessel, internal bleeding in the brain, and that's why it's called an accident in the brain. That can be as a result of
and then compress the cells there inside the brain, damaging the blood vessel, causing blood to escape. So you have escape of blood, meaning the hemorrhagic ischemia. And then we have the transient ischemic attack, where you have partial narrowing of the blood vessels, maybe for a time period of between 5 minutes or less, partially denying blood flow. It's a temporal process, but it is the one that happens most frequently. So you are more likely to experience transient ischemic stroke than the hemorrhagic stroke and then the ischemic stroke. So those are the three kinds of stroke that we have.
Okay, so let's get to know what are the primary risk factors for having a stroke.
now, like I would say,
Heparin is a good anticoagulant.
Okay.
Those ones can also easily predispose.
Okay, and I will guess that those are drugs that people abuse.
Exactly.
That could
They
lead to
abuse
that.
them.
it's actually called a prescription.
Something called a
Prescription
prescription.
drugs.
Okay. Let's move on. Now we've mentioned about some of the lifestyle that impact the risk of stroke, and he just mentioned the physical. If you do not involve in physical exercise and the rest of them, it could affect you, and you might even become the person can become susceptible to stroke. Let's move on to this particular conversation. Are there genetic factors that contribute to the likelihood of having a stroke?
Yeah, there are genetic factors that predispose people to have stroke. If you have a family where you have them to easily predispose to obesity, like they're very big, they're bigger than their normal age, it can easily predispose to stroke. So we don't want to go into the nitty-gritty where you get to the genomic level and begin to list about the genomic sequencing. It is really not necessary, but it's important to know that if you have that gene in your family where people are always very fat, always very big, permit my use of the word, it can easily predispose to stroke situations.
That's very, very strong. And there was something you mentioned about cholesterol in the body.
Yes.
I've known of a case of someone who the doctor said you have so much cholesterol in your blood. Can that also lead to stroke?
Yeah, cholesterol presence in the blood is not very far from obesity. People who are obese are easily, seen to have high levels of cholesterol in their blood. So once that is the situation, it will easily predispose to stroke
So
situations.
when you're told that you have high level of cholesterol in your blood, what do you do next?
Easy. Just engage in physical activities, regular exercising. It helps to burn away the excess cholesterol.
They have their PP apparatus, they have everything. They have it to themselves. And they also have their drugs. They can go anywhere and get their drugs. And self-medication can actually lead you from one medical condition to another. Take for instance, you took a drug that you're not supposed to take, and you lighten your blood, and the blood becomes so light, and it can cause you a problem. Or you take some drugs that you're not supposed to take, and it makes you become so inactive, and you're always in one place, and it will also cause you problem. And sometimes when you take a drug you're not supposed to take, you even forget the dosage, and that can also cause you problem. So from one medical condition, if you are doing a self-medication, it can actually lead you to that end point you will have the stroke. And know that all the circulation depends on your movement. The way we are seated now, our circulation is different from the person that is walking.
Circulation, what
Yes,
the hell do you
when
mean?
the movement of
circulation.
blood
Blood
in the body,
circulation.
yeah, blood
Okay.
circulation.
I thought it was the same thing.
Nah.
So in addition to what he said now,
Yeah.
feel very panicky, you begin to lose strength, you feel fatigued, or you feel hyperactive. Those are signs of either hypertension or low blood pressure. And also if you're having a persistent crossing chest pain, it can also be a sign that you're having hypertension, high blood pressure. We call it ventral tachycardia. So you need to look out for these things. Don't waste time. Just go to the hospital or go to the pharmacy or clinic. Get checked. But I would advise you to go to the hospital where you will get proper check, and then a doctor will see you and then attend to you.
These are some signs you mentioned. Sunday Moses, I want you to mention those signs or other signs that people can see and then begin to wonder if they might be victims of stroke.
All right. Like there's a friend of mine who actually worked closely, and I looked at him. His mouth is actually bending towards one side, and he said, "Guy," and also like the one that is obvious, you see paralysis. You know, hand is dead and the other hand is paralyzed, the other leg is paralyzed. So the other part of the brain is actually affected. You know, the one that controls the side is by the one that controls the left is by the right. The one that controls the right is by the left. So that's it. And these are the few signs and symptoms. I don't know if my
I think the one thing I need to add is the fact that those persons who have stroke, one of the symptoms they also exhibit is slurred speech. They cannot make well coordinated conversations with you. Like they will not be coherent discussions from them. When they are talking, they are not communicating. So instead of someone to say, "My name is Joseph," you hear non-coherent speeches that don't make sense. So when you look out for these signs, basically we usually advise people to look out for what we call the FAST sign. F for facial drooping. A part of the face will be drooping, and then A is for arm. The person.
Sunday Moses, I don't know if what he said now answers my next question, because I was interested in asking how can one differentiate between stroke and other ailments, and I want to even add to that if hypertension definitely means stroke. I want to know about these things so that it can be clear for my dear viewer and myself.
No, hypertension is not stroke. Hypertension is not stroke. That is, hypertension is actually the increase of blood flow in the body when it's very high. While stroke is a brain accident. A brain accident. It can either be blocked, it can be partially blocked, or it can be ruptured.
Okay, just for clarity,
Yes.
is the end result of hypertension stroke?
No, not the end result. It can actually lead to, it can cost, not the end result. Because somebody can have hypertension for a very long time.
drink adequate volume of water every day so that you can maintain proper health. We're talking health right now on Morning Ride, and just before we went on that shoot break, we were discussing about stroke and some of the myths that surround stroke. I would want to ask about the water part later on, but let's talk about the hereditary part and the myth that surrounds it. And just before we went on that break, I was trying to get from Sunday Moses, and I'm sure I'm going to get from Joseph Oduetu, that families are said to have stroke in their lineage. And an example that I saw was a family that most of them are usually on the big side. You can say that they are obese and all that. Is it in that line hereditary to have stroke in a particular family? Okay, Joseph wants to steal the mic.
So I would like to take it from 2 points.
Yes.
Firstly, because it can be hereditary. When you have people predisposed to obesity in a family, it's in the gene there, and they can easily predispose to stroke. Now, secondly, if that family is well-to-do,
Yes.
you know, families who are well-to-do have this idea of not engaging in physical activities. They get people to do their work, keep their blood vessels clean.
So, point noted here, hereditary or not, if you engage in physical activities, maybe sporting activities, you
Yes.
have very high chance, maybe 100% chance
Of
even suffering.
escaping stroke.
Escape stroke.
So let's get that straight. You have to be physical. You have to, I mean, I say physical, I don't mean you have to go indulge in violence. I mean, you have to engage in physical activities for your own well-being. And for those who do not do chores at home, well, I will stop here. You better help out in doing those dishes, sweeping, cleaning.
Exactly.
They help you.
And then engage in regular exercises. If it's too small, 30 minutes daily, it will help. If you can't do it daily, do 3 times a week or 2 times a week, but make sure you are regularly exercising, and then keep the routine.
So let me even talk to parents at home, because it looks like most times parents now retire from domestic chores when their children have become teenagers, and then they retreat and say, okay,
And if you do not take care, the person can become unconsciousness. From being unconscious and still breathing, they go to unconsciousness and not breathing, and before you know it, the person is gone. That's why we say it's a medical emergency that requires emergency response.
Now, talking about emergency response, Sunday Moses, what are the immediate steps to be taken when someone has a stroke?
First, you call the EMS directly.
Call what?
Call the EMS. Call the medical.
I want to just say this as a warning. You want to hear names and words that people can understand. You tell the average Nigerian EMS. I was thinking we were talking about a mobile phone. let's be very clear about these things, so that, because this is a very serious topic.
Okay, now, you do know what our problem is in this part of the world
Yes.
is that we don't actually have an emergency number.
Truth.
We don't know people
No
to
911.
call. No 911. We don't even know people to call. Sometimes the people you think you're going to call, they might not be there. So that's why people are not. That's the end. Now, why we don't allow the person to fall to the ground is because the person might have further complication. When you smash your head on the floor, you have further complication. When you fall on a hard object like this, you have further complication. So make sure that the person does not actually get to the floor.
Just hold the person.
Just hold the person and take the person down, and then lie the person on his or her back,
Okay.
on a stretcher or anything that can actually move the person into an ambulance or a vehicle that is available and take the person to the hospital. While you're moving, what kills people is when people are moving, they forgot the airway. They forget to open the airway. People tend to bring the head down.
Tilt the head up.
Yes, you tilt the head up.
Okay.
So sometimes somebody is fully alive. Before he gets to the hospital, the doctor will say dead on arrival. It's not that the person is supposed to die. It's because the person who actually handled that person is a first killer.
Ah, not
So
the
you-
first aider.
Yes, not a first aider.
Ah.
So you kill that person before you get to the hospital. So the head must be up, making sure that the airway is clear, and monitor the person. Keep talking to your casualty or keep talking to the person. Keep talking to the person. And I know you'll be getting response from
responses.
time to time until you get to the hospital.
How many times do we see it in American movies? Say, John, are you there? Can you hear me? I'm here for you and all that.
Exactly,
yes.
So we can incorporate that in
Because
our
you know one thing,
lifestyle.
the last sense of organ that will leave a man is the sense of hearing. Even when the person is not responding, the person will be hearing you. When the moment you say, oh, this guy is gone, the person will just, oh, so I'm gone. But when you say, don't worry, you're fine, you're okay, you're alive, don't worry,
You've
you're
got
doing
this.
well. This is just a minor thing, and the person will say, oh, thank God I'm alive.
All right.
I'm good.
I have so many questions
Gives them a fighting
for both
chance.
of you, though. Well, I can't even take you on those questions, but it's very important that we maintain a good lifestyle. Before you go, though, there were two things that were reeled out on our health reel this morning. One of them was about water, another of them was about sleep. Can they help
Yes.
fight against stroke?
Taking water helps to hydrate the body and also helps to regulate the amount of fluid in the